Welcome, everybody, to JC Transformation Strategies. Welcome to our Thursday session. Thank you so much to everyone who's joining today. Appreciate all of you guys. Appreciate your time, your effort, and also welcome to our new subscribers. Thank you guys for joining in. I appreciate your love and support. I appreciate every one of you. Okay, always grateful for you guys. So today's topic we're going to be looking at is don't cling to what has already left. Don't cling to what has already left. Now, when we look at the term cling, it actually means hold, but it means tightly hold. And most of us are actually holding on to things that have already left, people have already left, job posts have already left, um, and a lot of things have already left, but we are still clinging onto these things, and that is the root of our suffering. Okay, so a reminder is to stop holding on to people, and a reminder is to stop holding on to jobs or any past circumstances that no longer serves you. So that story has ended. Okay, so let's say now you applied for a job, all right? You worked in a job, you had that status, you had that money that was coming in, but now that journey has ended. All right, so maybe you left on your own accord, or you resigned, or they fired you, or something has happened, but you are no longer in that position, or you actually had to leave because of you wasn't happy. So you cannot keep thinking about those things now, right? You are done with that. And also another clinging way is like people who go for interviews and they expect that, you know what, this interview must be positive and I must get that job. Or even if simply just applying for the job, um, your brain is so activated that, you know what, I'm going to get this job. All right. And the thing is, there's so many other, we live in a competitive world. So there's other people that have more qualifications or more skills or more connections, and they get in first, and you don't get the job, and you get disheartened about it. But the thing is, I want to tell you that you need to move past that now. Okay, today's video is to tell you that you have to move past that. You cannot be sitting and still dwelling in the past, even like circumstances already over, family drama. Uh, there was like situation stories, because everybody has a different narrative to things, and some people are still holding onto that narrative. And the thing is, like, the years are going, and people are always busy. So people always find new things to do, like, right? It's like new skills, new studies, new work, new opportunities. Every day it's evolving. So what happens is that you still dwell in that. And when you cling onto that, it's suffering. Okay, so you need to let go. That's what we're going to be looking at today. When you cling onto anything, it's like having a clenched fist. If you see my fist right now, how clenched it is, guys. Right, so this is what happens. You hold on to things like this. We hold on to people like this. We may not physically hold on to people, but we are spiritually holding on to people. We are psychologically holding on to people. So when we hold on to like that job post that we never get, or we holding on to the job that we did have, and things happen and we have to move on, or we clinging onto people, relationships, spouse, all those things. Remember, even when it comes to spouse as well, you cannot cling to your spouse. Okay, that's another topic for another day. So you hold on to these things. And remember, we're living in an impermanence world, meaning we're living in a world that's always changing. It's always evolving. Things that was happening last week is not happening today, meaning that everything changes. If you have to look at the education system that has been implemented 10, 20 years, it's not the same this year. All right, or it's not even going to be the same next year, because things change. So you need to understand why it matters not to cling. It's because you will prevent that stagnation and trying to force a connection with people, or trying to force a situation that has naturally ended. So the situation, the person, the circumstances has ended. The job interview has ended. That job post that you worked for 5 to 10 years and now you are not working there, it has ended. Maybe even last year you just quit that job, it's ended. That relationship that you were in for many years and now that things never work out, it has ended. So please, guys, don't be stuck, because clinging is one of the forms of suffering. and it's actually preventing you, excuse me, it's preventing you from actually moving forward, and it's preventing you from actually opening the doors of your opportunity, because the universe has opportunity doors open for you, but obviously you need to take that step to open that door and then shut the other door that's not meant for you. Okay, it's very, very important for you to take that step. Only you can do it. The key is in your hands. Okay, so there are people, there are situations that have already checked out, they signed out goodbye. All right, but the problem is we're still holding on to that, we're still clinging on to that, we're still waiting for messages. All right, we're still waiting for text, we're waiting for replies, we're waiting for people to comment on our post, to even like our post, and you're not going to get that. All right, you are not going to get that. There's nobody that's actually going to validate you for who you are, because they're too scared to do that. It's basically where they actually have a mirror, and that mirror is reflecting on them, and it's not going to happen. All right, because from experience, guys, I've been waiting for people to even approve who I am and to validate that, and I had to let go of that. Okay, so talking from experience and healing, don't wait for people, don't wait for situations to change, don't wait for anything. Just accept and move on and see how can you adapt to things. Okay, even what's happening with the economy, the world, everything, you have to accept, you have to just adapt to it. Okay, so don't wait for things to change, because things do change, but sometimes, as you can see, you got to accept the reality. Okay, so when people have checked out, situations have checked out, that and you don't accept it, that causes emotional suffering. So the reasons why we cling to the past, we hold tight to memories, we hold tight to outdated versions of ourselves, meaning like already it's past version of you, but you haven't accepted like it's over now, so you need to move on. You still cling to how like the beauty, you were so beautiful before, you were so fit before, and you had so many things, like everything works out good for you, even your job status and everything, but you haven't moved on from that and to accept you, currently you, of who you are. Because remember, now you've grown, you got skills, you got education, you got experience, all right, and even like your healing and stuff, but you haven't accepted it. So it's important for you to accept where you are and the version of yourself at the moment. Okay, so also why we get trapped into this, because we like the comfort of familiar. All right, so the reason why sometimes your brain, it waits for like certain messages from people, certain response from people, is because we are stuck in the word familiar. Familiar basically means where we basically, okay, so we become so comfortable with the word familiar. And familiar means like, okay, let's say now you guys, uh, okay, let's use a family example. So we are so familiar with each other. We know how we talk, we know how we laugh, we know how we scream. All right, we'll be right next to each other, but we'll be shouting like chaos. So what happens is that when that relationship falls away, okay, so now there's something that happened, there was a conflict, and you guys just broke up. You guys don't communicate, there's so much of distance, there's no communication at all, right? And that's fine, okay, because remember, everybody serves a journey and a purpose in your life, and they're not going to always be there forever. Remember, impermanence. So what happens is that that relationship has ended, that person has checked out, literally has signed off, but you are still stuck to their memory. So an automatic thought comes to you, and you think of that person, and you think of the memories, and you think of the photos, and you look at these photos, and you're like, wow, we had such a good bond. And then what happens is that is called familiar. We get stuck with familiar because the photos, the reminders, um, the thoughts that come, that shows you that you guys had a close bond, and you miss that bond, and it's absolutely fine. You're a human, you need to grieve, you need to cry over this, because the relationship ended. But the problem is, when we become stuck into the familiar, it's very hard, because we start clinging onto the person that's already checked out from your life. They've signed out, but you are still clinging. and that is the root of your suffering. And there's another word that's called upadana. All right, guys, and that is basically also meaning the root of suffering. So it's very, very important that we let go of that. If you've been clinging onto people, situations, jobs, titles, status, whatever it is, it's time for you to let go, because that's your root cause for your emotional suffering, and you're not going to receive anything from the universe if you are still clinging onto that. All right, because the universe wants you to let go, to have that space. Yes, when you have that space, you do feel lonely, you do feel like empty, but that is just opening for you to receive from the universe and God what is destined for you. Okay, so open your heart to that. Remember, from this message, everything changes, nothing stays the same. Everything reaches a peak and drop, and acceptance is key. Accept life, accept your life, accept people, and accept the world, and you can conquer anything. Thank you guys for watching. Stay safe. I'll see you guys on Sunday for our next message. Namaste. Stay tuned to JC.